I made the video about Parasite and its ending. Now, many people are on there saying I talk too much and I didn't get to it. But I mean, I gotta recap the movie, don't I? This is the video if you don't want the recap. Let's just get into it. Full on spoilers. I don't give a fuck. Why did Mr. Kim kill Mr. Park? What made him snap at the end? So as we saw in the end, Mr. Kim just went on full on Jason and fucking... Well, no, Jason actually wouldn't have killed him like that. We're talking Michael Myers now, with a butcher knife, kitchen knife, well, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Went and killed Mr. Park. And this was after Mr. Parks talked about how the deranged man living downstairs smelled. Smell is something that really got to Mr. Kim. Like, it just made him snap. So what the fuck happened? We have to look back. Mr. Kim was somebody who wanted to have his family be in a different level than they were. He was wanting to be humble, but he still knew his family wanted more, and he was somebody who was going to try and do that. We see he is very appreciative of things that come, whether that's food, whether that's money, clothes, whatever. He really is somebody who's humbled. I think what made Mr. Kim snap from what we saw in the film was when his wife was making fun of him during the dinner, when they're drinking like all the alcohol and the parks are out and all of that. I think once his wife was making fun of him, he was jokingly saying he was going to harm her, but I think deep down he did, because he felt sort of like something like dirt on the ground, I would say, and that was really something he wanted never to feel. And I think once they also heard on the conversation about how he smells and how he's old and just that he's a worker and all of that when they were hiding under the table, I think that was just more build up for what was to come. And especially when they were planning a surprise party for the boy and he was just there listening to Mr. Park's wife just complain about a smell. And she didn't have to say anything. He saw it firsthand. And her saying about how the weather is nice now and all that rain was good to purify the air. And as we saw, what happened with the rain was it actually destroyed Mr. Kim's home for him and his family. They had to sleep in a shelter. And there was these people here with money and stuff. And they just didn't give a shit about what happened. Don't even have a clue, to be honest, what happened. And pretty much that's how he sees them, as clueless, self-entitled people. And I think once the culmination of all that happened, and then we got to the ending when his daughter is stabbed and killed and Mr. Park doesn't give a shit about her, and he's telling him, hey, come on, leave her there. You're going to take my son and me and my family to safety. We have to go to the hospital for my son. Not really caring about what was in front of him with these people being wounded and basically killed by this maniac. Mr. Park basically became a villain for him. And I think it pretty much just took it to that next level when he saw that the man who had been living under the basement, once he saw Mr. Park, he was excited to see him because we know that this man respects this man for as long as he's been down there. He's been down there making sure that the lights turn on for him, that he's always there. He has pictures of him everywhere. And the only thing that Mr. Park can do when he sees him, of course, we have to take into account what just happened, but still, he basically is like, ugh, about how the man smells. And that just triggered it all the way back to Mr. Kim being said that he smells himself. So I think in a way it was just like, this man doesn't give a shit about anything but himself and his money and his family, and that's it. And I think that that's what made him think, like, I don't give a fuck either, pick up the knife and kill him. So yeah, that's basically what made Mr. Kim snap. It was just the buildup of these things, of always being under this society that is just pushing him down and down. Even if he is in the home of the wealthy, even though he's working with them, he is always going to feel that he is in that spot and never can go up those stairs, whether it's at the home or whether whatever it is, like metaphorically or literally, he's always below them at a point, and now he literally is below those people. So yeah, I just make a quick video because I see a lot of people asking that question, and that's just my thoughts on why he did what he did. It might be different from the director's point of view, and I would really love to hear his point of view on this, but that's just my thoughts. What are your thoughts on what made Mr. Kim snap at the end of the movie? What do you think about the movie itself? As I said in my ending explain, I think the ending's pretty bleak and tells us that it's impossible for Mr. Kim to ever make it up those stairs and come out a free man, whether that is as speaking to us as a society or Mr. Kim's like own personal experience. So yeah, I thought the movie's great. Can't wait to see it again. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? We talk movies, news, all that good stuff. Knives Out video, Jojo Rabbit video, a couple more American Horror Story as well. So we got a ton of videos coming for you. This is where we talk all the stuff you love in TV shows, movies, anime, music, all of that, video games as well. As always, 10,000 subscribers. Let's get to it. Stay positive.